Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a special extra edition of Challenge Accepted. And today we're doing a challenge, another challenge in the fourth week of the 1-2-3 challenge at Inspired by Memories. And this is the sketch we're working from. The challenge is one sketch, two techniques, your choice, but please specify, and embellishment clusters to include a homemade tag. So I'm going to have all that, and I'll tell you right now that looking at this sketch, I don't like the pictures here, so I'm going to incorporate the pictures in the clothesline, and I'm not going to use these little cloud-shaped elements. I instead will use some mixed media, which will be one of my techniques, and I'm not sure what my other technique will be. I would like it to be machine stitching, and you'll see that I'm going to put some torn paper layers in. If I can get my sewing machine to work, I will have machine stitching, but I'll do it off camera after I'm finished with this video, and you can see it in the finished layout that I post. If that doesn't work, I will do some hand stitching that's maybe a little less, the stitches won't be as long. So there will be some kind of stitching. And I think the floss that I'm going to use if I do the hand stitching will be this color because it just stands out so nicely among the others. So I'll tell you what I have here. 2 white sheets of paper. I'm going to use some Distress Oxides applied with a Tim Holtz blender brush, and that will give it a very subtle kind of coloration, maybe an ombre-ish kind of look, depending on how successful I am in doing that. I've got papers here that I'm going to tear and try out as upper and lower frame layers. And if the chevron one doesn't work, I've got this nice solid. And I have a tray of things I've made. I made a little sequin shaker, hexagon, just a little bit. I have several different size hexagon punches. I punched the smallest one out of a piece of paper, and then I used the largest one to actually punch around it, so it gave me this frame. I punched packaging, the clear plastic from packaging. I punched 2 hexagons out of that, and I glued it all together with little thin strips of foam. So this is going to go on top of a tag, and there may be some other things that we add to that. I've got some wood veneer pieces, some ideas of tags that I will put photos on, and then we'll go from there. I have a title piece. It's about my granddaughter who's just been diagnosed with leukemia, and so I've got a brave on there and a seize the day for the other page if it fits in. I'm okay with only having a title on one page of a 2-page spread because they will be put in the album together. I have several different kinds of washi tape that may or may not make it onto the page. Let me adjust the light so maybe you can see these better. One of them has some interesting inspirational messages, and we'll see how that works against the background colors. And let's see, what else do I have? I have almost killed a sticker sheet. Everything that you see that I'm using was in my Mini Kit Monday kit for April, and I'm trying to kill it. So one of the things I'm trying to kill is this sticker sheet from Basic Gray B-Side, which is where most of the papers come from. And I've got this frame right here, which after I put everything together, if I can place this, maybe with some foam behind it so that it stands up. Over in the right-hand corner where I intend, let me see if I can get that within your vision. Over here where I intend to put the title, I thought it might be nice as a background for the word brave. So those are some ideas I have, and I'm going to get to work because I really don't want this to be a terribly long video. I'd like to keep it fairly short. So let me do, I'm using Distress Oxides, Twisted Citron, and Shabby Shutters. Both are shades of green that don't perfectly match the main color, this kind of citron-y, sort of olivey, citron-y green. They don't exactly match it, but they'll be applied subtly enough that I think it'll work. Now I keep my blender brushes for a color family, and this one is from the green family, so it's fine going on as it is, and I'm going to just do some fairly messy rubbing on, and I'm not going to worry too much if the stencil moves around. I would like there to be a sense of this set of diamonds, this diamond pattern running across both pages and allowing me to join the pages. But I'm not going to get real picky about being exactly inside the lines. Let me do. What I've found with these brushes is if you want to apply it really heavily and get some stiffness behind it, you can raise this up. If you want it looser and get a little more subtle look, you can do this. And I'm kind of going for, I expect and want to have both on these pages. So you can see here I'm a little bit off, so I'll just kind of move that back into place. And I'm just kind of rubbing across the ink pads, and the colors are similar enough. I'm not wiping one color off before I switch to the other. Okay, I'm going to say that I'm kind of ready to pull it up. And this is kind of where it's going to stay. I like that it has a nice variation in the kinds of greens and how much went across. It doesn't look uniform. I thought about doing texture paste or something else, maybe colored, because I can take a white texture paste and color it with any of these Distress Oxide colors, and that would have worked perfectly. But I'm happy with this, so I'm going to go from there. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of, it's going to be distributing this stuff. And I can say that right off, this tag is a lot longer than the other tags. So I think I'm going to, first off, cut it down. You leave a little pink border there. And I may use this piece of pink as layering behind something. It's also the only tag that doesn't have a white string. So it's going to stand out a bit, and I'm going to put one of my favorite photographs on it. So, and it's it's going to be probably this one of Ava and her big sister Allie, and I've already put the dots on it because I knew I'd want it kind of hanging off the side. What I'm going to do is place the photographs on the tags that contain photographs, or the photographs that are going to be on their own. I like placing that so that the banner, the fishtail end of the banner shows. I may just, for right now, I'm going to set this here kind of in the middle. What I expect to do is have like it shows in the sketch, things are kind of, they're laid on there sort of straight, and then the string does the curving. I kind of want, since I'm not using this row of photographs down at the bottom, I want my clothesline, first of all, to come down more towards the center, and that allows me to have a little bit wider paper frames above and below, and equally wide one maybe down at the bottom. And so I'm probably going to do, well, actually, I'm going to take that back and put the tag back in here, and let's start tearing paper. This is a piece of paper that I've obviously cut some off of. I'm going to tear it so that it doesn't have a lot of dips and such. Okay, that can go, let's say that'll go there. And then I'll do another one also for the top that kind of, I'll try to have it end somewhere very close to where the other one was, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Look at that, it actually kind of matches. Okay, so that's good for that. I'm going to assume that I will like this. I'm going to tear a strip of it as well. Now remember, I'm going to have something like this at the bottom. Okay, my idea is that this would kind of tuck up under there like that. And so I'll take the other side that was not torn, and I'll kind of try to do a similar job, and I can do a little more movement in this one because it's more adjustable than the other one would be. Okay, so that seems to work, and I do kind of like that, although this navy blue color is not in any of the any of my tray of goodies. This is the B side of a paper that I had chosen for this color to go in my kit, but I'm using it on the B side. Let me now see if, I wonder if the B side might be good. You know, the B side has those clouds, and it has a blue that's not incompatible with the other colors. So let me get my cutter here, let me see. And what it has, because I tore, on the other side, I tore the strips so that the white center would show. It shows on the opposite side for here. So let me cut straight down there, do that, and then I'll add, let's see how, I think that's probably going to be good enough. If not, I can kind of tear it. So let's see how that goes. Other than the fact, oops, I'm sorry about that. I've dislodged the phone from its holder. Other than the fact that the clouds appear to be upside down, which doesn't bother me in the least, I think that works well. So what I'm going to do This is a beautiful pattern, but I don't think it would work. So let me tear another piece, fairly thin piece of that, so that I'm repeating at least one of the colors from the top so that it doesn't look completely foreign. So let me try that and that. And that seems to go well. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So let me start gluing it down. I'll do along the bottom here, line it up. There, and then that should leave me room to tuck this in. Okay, that works. I'll do it here. Isn't it wonderful and fascinating watching someone do a video essentially live, so that you're watching them apply glue and paste things down. Okay, one thing that I'm noticing is, you can probably see it here, there's a little edge there. That means when I cut the branding strip off this paper, I didn't cut it, I didn't cut enough of it off, and so it left the paper's a little bit longer, so I can trim that off at the end of all this fun, and it should be fine. Okay, so that's what the bottom looks like. Let's do the same thing to the top. When I do these layers, I do the one that's close to the edge first, and then I apply the glue strips close to the edge, which leaves this open. Sometimes I actually like to turn that edge up and maybe even get it a little damp so that it curls. I'm not going to do that today. Okay, so that works. Let's do this. Okay, that's leaving us a nice area in the center to do the clothesline. And speaking of clothesline, I meant to get out my little package of clothespins, and I haven't done that. So that may be something I either do after the video is finished as kind of a finishing touch, or I may decide not to do it because it would be too busy, or I may take a little time out from the video to go pull that box. Okay, so as soon as I trim this off, we should be kind of matched up there. And I don't do lots of double page layouts, and when I do, I rarely, split a photograph down the center or even an embellishment down the center. I have done it in the past, but I generally just try to make it kind of a cohesive look. I put my pages in D-ring binders, and so there's a little space between them anyway, and if I've intentionally cut something just to make it look like it goes across the page. Um, it the point of it is kind of lost anyway. And so we're going to, now let me bring this in a little bit closer. I'm going to start back with the task I had. I'll kind of to me, the leftmost part of the right page is the focal point of a double page layout. I didn't read that anywhere, I just made it up. It's kind of what seems right to me. So I'm going to do this maybe a little bit offset, and there may be another element that I put there. I've got another, this is an Amy Tangerine tag that had this little ticket and this little banner. I used my my evil slicer that is kind of messed up to cut through that, my little craft knife, and it allows me to kind of insert that photo there, and then I can embellish that tag. I'm actually going to, well, let me leave it that way now. So that's a photo that I may want to have over here in this area. A couple photographs are going to exist on their own. They're going to hang on the clothesline on their own. I'll put that one there and this one here. And this one I was thinking of adding to a tag. I'm not sure which tag I like the best. If this were really live, I could ask you and you could help me decide. Let me go with this one because this kind of mint green is in some of the other embellishments. So I'm going to just flat adhere this, and then I'll add some sequins or something to kind of decorate that. So that has, that can go there. So I have 3 on that page, 1 on this page. And that leaves me room for this page. I kind of went back and forth whether I should use this, let's see, this white tag for the shaker, and I actually kind of like the look. You can, if you shake it, it kind of gives you a reason to shake it around so you can see the little pinwheel and the orange flower piece underneath. So I think I'm going to adhere that like that, where it hangs off the right side but not too much. Actually, I'm going to go with a different adhesive there. I'll go here, and I've got enough there and there. You couldn't see me do that, but I got on 3 sides, which I think should be enough to hold it. I'm going to do it like that and let it dry. I probably will put that right here, maybe because the pink looks nice with that love on the love tag over on the other side. I have some really beautiful wood pieces that I thought could hang in between, and we could do them so that it looks like they're hanging from the clothesline. So I'll just kind of dry fit those there. I have large banner pieces and large triangles. I could kind of do that there. I have another hexagon piece. The hexagon piece is on the left page. I'm going to just kind of stick it here for a minute until I figure out what to do with it. I want to go with triangles, maybe a triangle here that's compatible with, but not a carbon copy of, the pattern that's on the hexagon there. It's from the same line of papers. I'm going to do 2 triangles here with this green over close to where it touches the pink. Let me get another. I've got now some, I'll take a solid color. Let's do some dark in here, and we'll kind of put that over. I have some smaller banners that I thought I'd layer over these large ones, and maybe even on some of the photos. Here are some small ones. There's one that could layer maybe over that and kind of overlap that. Let's take a pink one and overlap it there. We'll take another one of these and put it on the line here, and I'll have another one just like it over here so that that bridge is somewhat, there's continuity is implied, let's put it that way. Here I'd like to do that in the middle of those 2 triangles. Now I also have some word strips that I would like to include, and I thought maybe this amazing would look nice on that tag. That would be part of my homemade tag thing. I'm going to put this little wood heart here. I had another little heart. Here it is. Let me see if I can get that up. This was one I die cut for Calvin ball, and then it got lost, and I found it on the floor. So didn't use it for Calvin ball, but I can use it here. There's a wood camera here that I thought might be nice there. A kind of a starburst that might be good here. I've got some word strips. We're here for you. We're all here for you always. And I thought I could layer that maybe over that piece of wood. The Be Strong Little Girl might be nice right there. And the You've Got This, I thought I might use as part of that title block if I decide to use that frame thing. Let's try that idea. That's gonna be too big. So I'm going to nix that idea. I'll use that somewhere else. But there is a little, this is kind of negative space. If I did that and then ran this You've Got This over that and kind of curved the Brave around like that, I think that would look good. Okay, let's do that then. Like that. Can you see where I'm putting that? With the double page layout, I'm not having great luck. When I get to gluing it down, I'll try to bring just one into focus. The You've Got This goes here, and I'm going to elevate it on some foam. I've got my magical foam stuff here. It was originally bought for Ava's projects that she used to come downstairs and work on. And I'm using it. I wonder if I could or should try coloring the edges of that. Maybe with using the Twisted Citron. Okay, there, I like that. Let's lay this maybe off to the side. Let me see if I can show you what I'm doing here. Got to get some of these things out of the way. What I'm doing here is, kind of working on the title block. So I thought Brave could go there. Let me use my older bad scissors. I identify scissors, the scissors that have been through the mill that have cut things with adhesive and have gotten gummy and that have cut through wire and things like that, are these that have no marking on them. I've got a little washi tape on my newer ones that are only for fussy cutting. So let me get rid of, these are, this Brave is a part of Heidi Swap set that that's meant to go on one of those letter boards, and so it has these little things that allow it to slide into the tracks on the letter board. So that's where that's going to go. I'm not going to glue it down yet because I really don't want to have to worry about whether it's going to stay down. So what I'm going to do now is kind of start gluing, and in the gluing I'm going to decide kind of willy-nilly where the whether things get popped up or whether they get glued straight down. This one on the end I'm electing to pop up, and I can't give you any particular reason that I'm doing it that way. And once I start the first one, the others will kind of fall into place. The only thing I know, and I'm starting on the end there because I know that that can't hang off the edge. I have a little wood starburst here. I'm going to add that up here, and I have a little container of loose sequins in the same color scheme as those in the shaker, so I will add those again willy-nilly as I see fit. So these I'm going to go straight down with these banners and kind of curving them out like that, and then I'm going to pop this smaller banner up on top, and the cord that I use, the twine that I use to produce the clothesline effect will kind of tuck in under here, and it'll allow it to kind of toe the line, if you will. So those were glued down flat. It's time to raise this one up, and it's probably easier and cheaper to use the fun foam than to use pop dots. So I'll do that. The good thing about the adhesive I love, this Easy Runner Grand by Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. What's good about that is it sticks to foam, and no other adhesive I've used does. So I'm going to do that right here and maybe slightly curve it a different way from this, and then it allows me to kind of put some sort of embellishment or curl the twine or something right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I'm going to work inside towards the middle, or from this left side towards the middle. I'm going to do that right there. And then I'm going to pop this one up on foam. And let's see if that, the wrong piece there. if that works. That does work. So I'll do this, and I notice, for example, something that's going to bother me is that the mat on this photo is the same black and white polka dot that I made this banner out of. So I'm probably going to put some layering pieces around this photo to make that separation. And there's this nice pink that I cut a while ago off the bottom of that tag, so I can cut some strips there. Okay, this is ready to go down. I'm gonna kind of put it at a little bit of an angle there, and then there may be some further embellishment going on there. So I've got this glued and this glued. That means I need to evenly space these things, and I think that's going to work there. I'll do, and again, I'm going to put these larger pieces down flat, and then I'll pop up the little banner that's going on top. Okay, so that works. I kind of offset them a little bit so that there's something kind of interesting going on. And when I do the twine, it'll kind of all come together, I hope. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now this is the amazing that I kind of want to hang down here. I'd like for it to look like it's hanging on the clothesline. So what I think I'm going to do is I will use adhesive and put it here, but when I get one of those clothespins, I'll put it up there to look like it's clothespinned on. Okay, here we go. I think that's probably good placement, and again, I can add some sequins there. Okay, I've got this right hand page done, other than the wood pieces that I thought I would layer over the paper. Now I'm going to just leave those sitting on there right now, because for me the jury's still out as to whether that's a good idea or not. So let me see how heavily the other pages get embellished, and let's see how that works. Okay, here's another one that I'm going to take from the inside out. I'll do this. I should have this other one over here, at least for a guide on that. Let's see. Okay, right there is good, and it kind of comes right to the end, so that will look good in the, that's, if that's the only thing I do to tie the two-page spread together, I'm happy with that. In fact, this stenciling kind of ties it together, because that continues across, and it's the center of the spread. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this into your vision. Again, we still have this little thing, which I would love to use on here. And I'm actually going to change out that, and I don't have a blue green flowered one, so let me see if I can work these in together like that, and then put this one on top over here. So let me try that. Let me give that a shot. And I'm not going to worry a lot about spacing, because if it looks like I can correct it with the twine at the end, I think. Let me curve that out a bit, that one out, and then this one, I didn't have enough on there to make it stick. Okay, and then I can overlap that with this, so I will lift this up. I'll end up putting that on there, but not right now. So I'm going to apply the adhesive to the back of this and do a piece of my magic foam to kind of lift that up. And that can go like this. It does not, that overlapping is actually part of the design. So, and that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let's see. We'll put a couple little foam dots on this. Peel off the backs. Get it like that. And that can start the twine. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. This one, this tag, I want to turn this way. Well, actually, I'm going to have it straight because I think the hexagon looks better straight. Let me see. This and this and that. That is so cute. I love shakers, and I don't make them very often. They're not something I think of first when I design a layout or when I plan a layout design. I'll worry about the wood pieces later. I think I want the Be Strong Little Girl to go over here next to the sad picture of her. That was a photo taken the weekend before she entered the hospital, and she was just kind of thinking of the fact that it was all it was all getting real. Okay, I'm going to put this, let's see, do I have any other, I have a short triangle flag. That works out great. I can layer this one over here. I don't want the 2 pages to be mirror images of one another in terms of how of the things hanging on the clothesline. So I'm going to do this way, have that there, and then I'm going to layer this photo kind of under here and maybe bring it down a little bit, and then I'll figure out what fits in the middle of that later. I'm going to put this one on flat. I usually make it a rule to, if there's a photo and things are getting lifted up and some left flat, I usually make it a rule that the photos aren't flat. I'm going to kind of do that and add a little stuff. This was a selfie at the ice cream store on Easter Sunday. She wanted a lovable, which is the acai bowls that we dearly love and eat as often as we can. And they were closed, so we had the ice cream store. And she actually said she thought the lovable would make her feel better, and the ice cream would just make her full. So she opted out of the ice cream. So she's a better girl than I am. Kind of sticking that under there before that. Do this, And then I really like this green to stand out, so let me kind of do that. And then I will put some foam for this. As you can see, this pretty much came together without a specific design about where everything would go, but with a feeling that I'd gotten from the sketch that things were kind of hanging in a fun, casual fashion. So nothing had to be particularly specifically placed somewhere. Okay, so do I want the words to face? Do I want them hanging this way? I think they are readable either way. But I'm going to put that one that way. Okay, this wood piece now must be layered, if it's going to be layered, would be layered there. I had thought that this Seize the Day might fit in somewhere, but the more I look at it, the more I think that's probably not going to work. I'm going to layer this little camera on top of the banner here so that its lens gets split right down the middle by the two patterns, because I kind of like how that looks. Okay, so there. This thing, have we found a place to use it? How about if we had a lower right corner element over there, so maybe an upper left element. I'm going to put all the rest of this off to the side. I do have a wooden star that I'd like to use, and then I'm going to do some sequins around and about. I'll put that there. I'm usually, when I do a clothesline, I don't have things just randomly hanging off the sides. I don't think I need this unless we want to run it across there like that. What do you think? Let's see, you can't even see that. Okay, yeah. If I put a couple of large dots and raise this up, I can layer that little banner or any little banner underneath. And I'll do it kind of like that with the points going up, and here it's in contrast to this where the flat side points up. Here I've got the point pointing up. I could layer that there. And then pop that up. Okay, I like that. And it makes the important sentiment of "we're all here for you, always," makes that sentiment readable horizontally. So, let's do this. That there, it kind of curls it a bit. Let's do the twisted citron on it. What I like about that basic gray B-side collection were the specific mix of colors, using the kind of mint teal, I call it, like this flag is right here in this floral print. Using that mint teal with the citron was, I thought, brilliant. Just different from what you see. The only thing I don't like about this is that it's kind of obscuring the tear, but I think that's okay, especially if I have a balancing element like maybe this flower tucked under there. Let's do that. I love these. Let's see, who makes that? They're Jen Hadfield. It's a selection of wood elements that coordinate with a paper kit or a selection of papers that I had in one of my Mind the Scrap kits. And this one I thought was generic enough. I'm going to tuck it under that label as well. Okay, so there's my, do I need another banner? Gosh, it looks like I might, huh? Don't you think? And I could stick it in under there. Let's do that. And I can curl at the ends. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to bring them together. I'm going to ask myself, do I want the wood pieces? I think I do. So I'll apply a little bit of glue to one part of the wood and then let it rest on the highest point surface. In this case, this green flag that I have. So that one's adhered. This one actually, when I pulled it out, it broke, and I just applied a little of the glue to the front and to the back of it, and it held together. It's holding together rather nicely. Let's see, do I do that one? I do like that. Okay, so it's, in a way, this makes the pages kind of what I'm going to call right heavy. Okay, I'm going to say that this is done as far, other than, let's do our title here. Brave. What I'm going to do for this, what I find works, and I have some time to let it dry, put a glop of it around where I just cut off that little piece that fits in the track of the letterboards, and that holds the glue kind of out in a place that it can grab hold of the paper. And then I just kind of let it lie there, and it kind of glues itself on. So these are the pages. Let me see if I can get a good enough view for you. I did not use any washi tape, and I did not use any sequins, and I haven't put the cord on. I didn't want to do that until after I did some stitching, if I decide to do that. So here's the left-hand page, and I will be using what I have available within easy reach at the moment is black and white baker's twine, and it's silver and white and gold and white. And I don't want that for any of these. I have a thick white cord that's actually in the garage, and I don't want to make you wait for me to run out to the garage, and I apologize for not bringing it in when I thought of it earlier, but it's been kind of a day. So this is what it looks like. Imagine it with cord, and I'll put something out there for you to see. And maybe some stitching along where along here. Now I know there's no glue there because I put the glue all down here, and I put the glue on this other piece more up towards the top, specifically to leave that glueless for my sewing machine needle. So this is kind of, right here, I could have done a better job of maybe size matching those things, and I could even re-tear this. Let me do that, actually. Let me try and see how that works. Okay. What do you know? Okay, see, that's not too bad, right? All right. And there are lots of colors. There are photos that I love, photos that that are meaningful to me and my sweet baby granddaughter and to her family. So I'll finish this up and I'll post it in everywhere that I post the link to this video. So I appreciate your watching. I know this was long. Check out Shannon Allor's take on this very same sketch, and it's all from Inspired by Memories, and it's part of their 1, 2, 3 challenge that's been running all month. It's week 4 of it. And here's my sketch, and there's my result. So enjoy. If you like it and would like to see more, like, share, forward, subscribe, and comment. So thank you very much.